come. Let's wait. Counting moments for the big show here today. The second stage of the UCI Mountainbike Eliminator season 2026. And the first time we are here for...
Hello and welcome to round 2 of the 2026 UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup with me, Emma Martin.
And me, Matt Payne.
We're coming to you from Gdynia in Poland today. It's the 12th largest city in Poland, located on the north of the country on the Baltic coast. Started life as a seaport and then became a city 100 years ago. Happy birthday, Gdynia, celebrating its centenary in 2026, and the Mountain Bike Eliminator event, part and parcel of that centenary here today. Now, in round 1, Jakub Klemenchek and Maria Suchopolova took the wins and lead the World Cup standings. Will they after today's racing?
I think that's a really good question. I think this venue really does show off so much of what we can do with City Mountain Bike and with the XCE, of bringing the course right into somewhere where you just don't expect mountain biking to be. We're down on the dock side here. It's absolutely stunning. It's bakingly hot. It's blistering. You could fry an egg on the paving slabs. 34
degrees today here in Gdynia in Poland. It is hot, hot, hot out there, and it could well impact on the racing today. Let's take a look at the course.
Well, our start goes underneath the gantry, and this left-hand, right-hand turn really does set the taste of this course, where we can take these full-on 90-degree turns. It's full-on, it's flat out, and then a very short run-up to our first double. So up over the double, land it correctly into the right-hand turn, and then we start to make our way across towards what is one of the really interesting features here. We've got these steps. Now, they're only small, where we're jumping up and then jumping down these steps, and done at speed. Get these right, they're going to be really quick and easy. Get these wrong, it's going to be really, really big consequence, because you're going to come to a standstill. Into our step down jump, get the dismount of this wrong, so land on that too fast, you're going to over jump it, you're going to be in trouble. And then we've got this huge long straight. This is going to be prime overtaking spot, the last chance before we go into the wall ride, as we come around that turn and then line up for what is the finishing straight. 1 lap for time trials and 2 laps for the qualifiers. And remember, as we go through, this is Eliminator, and it's all about making your way through. On your screens, the time trial results, and you can see the fastest time going to Zagar, 52.910 seconds, with Jakub Klemenchek in second and Evan Lind in third. In the time trials, we have our top 16 riders going through. The rest of the riders then eliminated from the competition. It does mean that you had to get a good race in the time trial to get yourself through.
Yes, into the men's quarterfinals. Now, Zagar, who took that top spot in the time trial, finished 4th in round 1. So his performance really strong. The big news is that the Romanian Matej Zakas, after finishing 3rd in round 1, is out in the individual time trial today. So not progressing any further in the competition. That is a massive shame. The riders lining up down in the start. Tomasek in 1, Molnar in 2, Zagar in 3, Castillo Noyola in 4. They are going to get the whistle very shortly and will be underway for the World Cup in Poland today.
So time to see who's going to have the fastest start, who is going to get that quick kick down. It's going to be absolutely critical here to get a good start into these corners, because there is a fast line and a slow line through. Get it right, get to that corner first. You are going to be in there. Now, this is going to be key. The riders get to start sometime in the next 15 seconds. They don't know exactly how long this will be, who will take away the top 2 spots, the 2 qualifying spots. Away we go. The riders are up and out from the start pens underneath the gantry. You can see the front 3 side by side, and coming into that left-hand turn, Zagar goes through, but what a slide, what a squeeze, and you can see how much pressure is on these riders. It's absolutely on the edge.
Yeah, the course looks really innocuous with straight runs and 90-degree turns, but at this pace, riding this course versus racing this course, 2 very, very different things. The chicanes here, up and down the steps, they go up, they come down, and then they swing round and go up again, and you can see it stretching the group.
It really is starting to stretch and losing momentum there. Really is going to cost these riders. Now we go onto this step up, you go step up onto the flat platform, and you can just see the Gdynia sign behind for the 100th birthday. Well, that is almost a vertical drop down there to a flat, so get that wrong, you're going to go flying. Now round on to the wall ride that takes the riders round. You don't touch the grass on the way through. 2 riders starting to pull clear here. Zagar and Molnar, the 2 riders in front at the moment. Castillo Yolo at the back with Tom in sec, and they've got work to do. They need to focus on getting up to the 2 riders in front as they go up over the top of that feature. The pressure now on the 2 behind, because that gap is opening at the line. It was 2.4 seconds. It's coming down fractionally. It needs to come down a lot more, and time is now starting to run out for the riders in front.
Well, 1 lap of the course in the individual time trial setting the gridding, 2 laps of the course in the competition, and you can see what 2 laps is doing. It is slowing down the front. The heat here, 34 degrees today, is really going to take its toll, because we are going to see round after round after round.
So that tactical riding, I think, from the 2 riders in front to save energy, to not overheat, meaning that the gap came down in the last part of that lap, down to 1.9 of a second. Zagar and Molnar through. Tom in sec, Castillo Yolo out of the competition.
Well, they are indeed, and Molnar putting in a strong performance there. So did Zagar. Zagar finished 4th, making the main final in round 1, setting that quickest time in the individual time trial today. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do later.
And you can see the riders flying over this. One of the more relatively straightforward, just the double that we saw on our screen just there. With that double section, we saw the rider in front, Zagar, clear that. Nice and smooth, loads of momentum behind, cased by Molnar, and then causing problems behind.
Well, in P1, it's Zinny van Looy. It is indeed in P2, Kasper Czernaski. In P3, it's Furkan Akın and Titouan Perrin Gagné in the rainbow stripes, the world champion, P4.
And it's great to see the rainbow bands represented down here once again by Perrin Gagné, an absolute legend of XCE. What can he do here today? He's got a great start, but he is known for closing things down later on in the racing, and that is going to be critical here if he doesn't get the start. Here we go, off from the start, big kick down. Going to be a real telling start here. Perrin Gagné drops into 2nd position. This very, very tight around that left and right hand turn. You can see Furkan Akın right on the heels of the world champion, putting him under pressure. The race for 2nd and 3rd, very tight here. Really tricky over the top of that double as they come in to the turns here. The gaps are not opening up as much as we saw in the first of our quarterfinals, and the pressure is well and truly on Perrin Gagné. He's in trouble. Meanwhile, our rider in front, home rider, opening up the gaps and leading on home turf.
Well, Furkan Akın, the Turkish rider in 3, challenging the world champion at the moment, put in a storming performance in Sakarya, making the small final in front of a home crowd. Great to see him travelling and part and parcel of the World Cup this year.
Well, as they come in towards the line to get over the line, it's Czernaski who's got the gap at the moment. The rider from Poland opening it up. Kasper Czernaski, the rider with the lead. but hovering behind is Perrin Gagné. Is he leaving it for the last moment? He's defending really well here, and Akam cannot find a way past. He looks to the left, he looks to the right, and at the moment Perrin Gagné is able to make those bars. They're not 800 mil bars, they're like they're 2 meters wide at the moment, blocking everybody behind him. Akam goes on the inside, now makes the move, big dive down, and now Perrin Gagné is into third place, but Akam's lost momentum. Perrin Gagné is going to go on the right hand side. He uses that kick to retake position. He's into P2. They're going to go 3 wide into the wall ride if they're not careful here, and the Churski's got to look carefully. But Perrin Gagné go, last moment dive, all change at the front. The world champion makes a move. He goes in through. He's going to take that. You can see the frustration from Akam, and it is going to be a photo finish. We have Van Looy from Chernaski. It's going to be 0.01 of a second, potentially. That is going to get a close look, I think, from the timing teams who do an amazing job in this heat.
That push into the wall ride, that final right-hand corner was absolutely side by side. We saw undertaking, we saw overtaking, we saw riders going shoulder to shoulder. They all went into that wall ride together, and it just, well, put lap 1 on its head.
It really did. We've seen Chernaski leading this out really smooth, putting it on the back wheel. They're just getting a little caught up. Akam not able to go. It shows just how difficult that is. But as we come into that last turn, coming out from those steps, the dive by Akam on the inside pushes Perrin Gagné back. Perrin Gagné then overtakes coming into the wall ride, and then it's a sprint in over the line. Now, it is still shown on our timing screens with Van Looy going through with Perrin Gagné. That was so close.
What a fabulous heat. Well, lining up for another fabulous heat are indeed Noel Olsen in 1, Simon Gegenheimer in 2, Jakub Klemenchek, the winner of round 1, in 3, and Justin Vull of France in 4, a rider who has got something to prove today after round 1.
He has indeed. Wall was right in the mix and very frustrated with not taking himself through and maybe getting the performance that he wanted out of the racing. Our series leader, the World Cup leader, though, Jakub Klemenchek in that red and black jersey, leading out at the moment. They're not his usual colours, but they're the colours of the World Cup leader, leading after that round 1 victory where he fought all the way to the line. He was put under pressure, so we saw him handle that without any problems. At the moment, the rider behind him, Simon Gegenheimer, the rider in black with those world champions bands, as a former world champion, holding position, and Olsen and Wall at the moment are not looking like they're able to close this down. They're carrying a lot of speed over the top of that step down as they come off that drop down. Little look over the shoulder there by Klemenchek, wanting to make sure he's got the gap. Gegenheimer's got the gap. 3 and 4 though, being distanced with work to do. End of lap 1 complete. The gap between the riders is 1.5 seconds nearly, and that is work left to do. They've got to find something in lap 2 they couldn't find in lap 1.
No, Gegenheimer takes to the front as they head out onto lap 2, but the gap looks to be closing at the moment, and it's Olsen doing the work. Wall on lap number 1 came past Olsen. Olsen came back past Wall, and now that gap seems to be shutting down at the moment. Gegenheimer on the front, Klemenchek in 2, Olsen now in contention for one of those 2 qualification places.
So Olsen carrying that speed. He doesn't get extra height going off that drop down. He keeps it squashed down low, stamps on those pedals, knows that he's secure in 3. He's not going to get dive bombed into the corner, but he's got to pull something out here. He's on the pedals, he's stamping down. He's got Gegenheimer and Klemenchek in his side. He's not going to touch them. He's not going to go through this time. Gegenheimer goes through in 1. Klemenchek 0.07 of a second behind. Olsen and Wall eliminated him for Wall. This season is definitely putting him up against the wall and under pressure. He needs to get some serious performances out now. We've got 2 rounds complete and he's not got the result that he wants.
Well, he hasn't, but Gegenheimer has. Not travelling for round 1, I believe due to ill health, but he is back on form and side by side with Jakub Klemenchek, who took the win on round 1 of the World Cup this year. And I think Gegenheimer is a rider not to be messed with yet again for another season.
of Simon Gegenheimer, Jakub Klemenchik, Zinny van Looy, Titouan Perrin-Gagné, Matic Zagar and Eddie Caroli and Molnar, the riders who've gone through. Who's joining them?
Heat number 4, Theo Hauser, the rider on form. Klemenchik, he gave him a run for his money last round. Edvard Lind, great to see last year's world champion back on the start line. Loic Tornillian and Simon Nemec round out the 4 in this quarter-final.
Lind has a super powerful start. Hauser used to rely on his start. Now he seems to have extra power later in the race, but Lind powering his way in to the front, doing that in the style that saw him take his world champion's jersey previously. At the moment, looking very, very strong in one behind him. You can see the gap is starting to open again, 2 to 3. It really is separating out early on in these rounds. It's leaving riders like Hauser at the back here with so much work to do. They can't get round rider 3. Because rider 3, in this case, Nemec, absolutely jammed up.
Well, Hauser's seeing in all sorts of trouble at the moment, and there is a key tactic in some of these races, and I think Titouan Perrin-Gagné summed it up at the World Championships. You need to know when to go slow to be able to go fast. You can't go eyeballs out, well, perhaps unless you're named Edvard Lind, from the start to the finish of every single round. Maybe Hauser is playing it a little bit steady, but it's a difficult course to qualify from the back.
It is. It's real brinkmanship if he's holding something in that I can't imagine for 1 second. He would hope to be in 4. He would want to be at least 3, pressurising 2, looking to put them under pressure, making a mistake, but the temperature is beating down. There's some beating down, the temperature going up, and at the moment the pressure really is not on 1 and 2. It looks like that is going to be game over here unless there's something drastic. We have seen riders take each other out though at the front. We've seen riders in 3 and 4 qualify, but not here, not in Gdynia, in this new venue for the Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup, powered by City Mountainbike. This fantastic venue playing host to round number 2 of the UCI Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup. And at the moment, 1 and 2 in this round, looking reasonably secure. Now Hauser comes in. Can he carry his pace around the wall ride? He can. He's gone for it late. Don't play poker against Theo Hauser. He will come and beat you in a flush. Does he get it in the sprint? That came down to fractions of a second. Wow.
Do you know, I was just about to say Theo Hauser just does not look like the rider we saw in round 1 at Sakarya, but boy, he was holding his powder dry. That is one ride from Hauser to come into that wall ride and then take the pace, take the momentum into that finish straight, and then finish the business. What a move.
One chance that he had, the one chance on this course, on the very last straight before we came onto the finish, he took that chance, he took the momentum through around the wall ride and then carried the pace through. As you can see, Hauser joining Edvard Lind and the rest of our riders going through from our quarterfinals to our semi-finals.
Yes, Zagar, Molnar, Gegenheimer, Klemenchik, Perrin-Gagné, Van Looy, Lind and Hauser, the riders progressing to the men's semi-final. Well, if the opening quarters are anything to go by, this is just going to get better. That has been elbow to elbow out there. And
it shows you that you can make that move in that last corner if you get the momentum and the drive correct into that 180-degree turn around the wall ride and into that finish. So really the case now here, and something we haven't necessarily seen every round previously and in previous years, where sometimes your race result is decided long before we get into that last corner. There are no chances, and the riders are counting back corners. You're counting back, right, you can't do it on the 180. Can you do it on the jump? Can you do it on the drop down? Can you do it on the steps? And you're counting back maybe 3/4 of the lap before you find that last overtaking spot. Here, it's the last feature, and the overtaking there was done on the white of the finishing line. And the riders will have been looking at that. They're out on course training yesterday. They're out on course training today. They've got the individual time trial. They've got time on course. They've got the other competitors out there training with them, and some of them are on the same teams. Those teams will be working out strategies on the courses together and then executing them. Now, we are going to hear from one of our riders. Excellent. Can't wait to hear from our riders. It's nice to have the chance actually here in Gdynia in Poland to hear from the riders and the faces that we see racing and don't always get the chance to hear in person. You can follow our riders. Do give them and the teams that they race for the support. Give them a follow on social media. It really, really is appreciated.
Well, we're going to hear from Marion Fromberger, the German rider, in a very short while. Now, the next round of the World Cup goes to Aalen in Germany. It is indeed her home course.
A co ciekawe, nasz zawodnik, który startował w ćwierćfinale, prowadził przez większość wyścigu, stracił do półfinału o 1/1000.
Marion Fromberger coming out of Germany and the second place rider from the first World Cup in Sakarya, Turkey. How are you doing at the moment?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's really hot. It's not hard conditions this day, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next race.
Straight qualifying for the big final with 4 ladies. The level is really high. Suka Palova, Didi de Vries in it. It's Madison Pocher also in it. What do you expect for the big final by Women Elite?
So I think it's hard to handle with the heat. It's 40 degrees and it's really hot. Not a lot of wind, but I'm really looking forward. It was a really close qualification, and yeah, I think it will be really excited and really close to each other. So I'm really looking forward. It's going to be a cool fight.
Great to hear that. Next to this race, this second stage, what do you expect for the whole season 2026? What are the main goals?
So of course I'm looking forward to, in 2 weeks there's the World Cup in Aalen, in our hometown. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a great one. We have big obstacle, we have a cool crowd there, we have a lot of helpers, and yeah, it's just amazing to race in front of your home crowd. They all know me and Simon, and yeah, it's going to be a nice one.
We have a lot of viewers at home watching the live stream, watching you. Can you say something in German for all your fans watching at home?
An alle meine deutschen Fans, ich freue mich, dass ihr da seid, ich freue mich, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt. Jetzt Daumen drücken für die Finalrunden. Ich freue mich auf Aalen. Bis bald.
Thank you, Marion, and all the best of luck today for the big final Women Elite.
Thank you so much.
Well, Marion Fromberger took second place in round 1 to Maria Sukapalova. Both of those riders line up today. They line up with Didi de Vries and Madison Boissier of France, who took the fastest time in that time trial. It's going to be a great final later, but up first, semi-finals of the men's. The 2 semi-finals in front of you, Van Looy, Molnar, Zagar and Perrin Gagné go in semi-final number 1. Hauser, Klemenchek, Lind and Gegenheimer go in semi-final number 2. And either of these, I'll tell you, could well be a final race because of the quality of the men's field today. They're getting 15 seconds at the moment for heat number 1. Van Looy, Molnar, Zagar and Perrin Gagné. The whistle blows and away they go.
This kick critical to get that first corner, but as we've seen, it's not over until you get to the line for the 3rd time. First time it's at the end of the start straight, 2nd time at the end of lap 1, 3rd time at the end of lap number 2. At the moment, it's looking pretty smooth out there. No real dramas from anybody, no real mistakes there. And I think the riders here, because we've got this heat, because we're operating still in one of the warmest parts of the day, in one of the hottest parts of the year so far, if not for many years. I think the riders have just been a little bit more circumspect, and if they're not careful, they are going to let the gap go. Molnar there, not quite getting the drive that he wanted, and that has held up Perrin Gagné. Gagné won't panic, he's been around so long, he knows what he's doing here, but for me, the moment, the man who's taking the advantage is Zagar, and Zagar, remember, the fastest in the time trial as well, hence that number 1 plate. And the lack of momentum, Zini Van Looy, he's not got the pace to accelerate back up to speed. He's not got that kick that gets him on the wheels. He's having to carry pace, and he's running really wide on this course.
Yeah, and that is one of the issues on this course. If you lose the momentum, if you get stuck on those steps, the gaps just open so quickly, and you've got to get back up to pace whilst the others are just continuing with that speed.
Now the pressure on the world champion. This is where he's got to show what he's made of, because he's in trouble at the moment. 1 and 2 are on there. We do see Eddie Garrely Molnar go through to the finals, and he's in position 2 at the moment. He's going to have to do something about getting better on those steps in very short order. He's losing momentum and losing drive. Zagar at the moment, this is just a cruise. He's going to sprint in towards the line here in 1. In 2 he's going to be Molnar. The world champion knows exactly. I think he's got an issue with the chain, and I suspect he's not going to panic. He's going to think about making sure he gets that sorted as we move onwards, as he's going to be fighting for 5th to 8th place. But Zagar going through there, he looks super smooth.
Yeah, and Molnar will be overjoyed with that, putting him into the major finals today. He was in the small final in round 1, so the points will be higher for him today. Perrin Gagné, I think you're right there. I think problem with the chain on the latter part of the course didn't allow him to fully contend. You see him get up and out the saddle and attempt to take the sprint there. Not able to fully engage the drive on that bike and just sitting up before the line. But Zagar and Molnar, great racing, and Matic Zagar just took that out from the front and never saw anybody.
He didn't see anybody. I mean, he was just gone. It was like he has just left the building. He's just disappeared. Absolutely incredible to see. Okay, our next set of riders just lining themselves up. Second of our semi-finals.
Theo Hauser of Austria in 1, Edvard Lind of Sweden in 2, Jakub Klemenček of Slovenia in 3, and Simon Gegenheimer of Germany in 4.
Whistle goes, time to go racing. 2 riders through, big issues on the start line already. We started the race with 4, and we had 4 riders for what must have been maybe a pedal stroke, if at the most. Theo Hauser not getting the drive off from the start line. Hauser is going to be out of this. He's surely not going to come back from that. It's going to take a major disaster, and it now means that 2 riders will be selected from the 3 that are left on course. Hauser's start there. He's back up to speed now. We've seen him take a position by coming through at the last moment. Is he going to be able to do it again? Don't discount him. I mean, we almost wrote him off last time. We're going to try not to do that now. But look at the gap. Look at the time. He's got a lot of work to do. Issues as well. You've got a problem here. Look at this. Klemenček's going to go out of this. Klemenček has got a problem with the bike. The chain has gone. So, big issues for more than one rider here. Klemenček was in a position to be in there. That now means there's only 2 riders left, and the series leader, the World Cup leader, now he's not going to make those finals. Gegenheimer and Lind at the moment with a gap. Hauser with 4 seconds to make up, and not even Theo Hauser can time travel that fast.
Well, Klemenček had issues with the chain in the final of the World Championships this year on the start straight, now having issues in round 2 of the World Cup. Whilst wearing that leader's jersey, it's going to leave the competition wide open, and Klemenček is going to want to battle right to the end of the World Cups this year.
And this is where we saw that issue. So you come off those steps, you come in, you get the compression and then the lift, then the drop, then the landing, and then the compression again, and that's what cost Klemenček his chain. A shout from Gegenheimer. He's just seen Hauser coming behind him. He saw him coming. He said to Lind, you need to move, sunshine, and move it quick. Hauser's coming, don't get caught. Gegenheimer's going to go through, so is Lind. Not to be for Hauser. Closer than we thought, though, after the issues on the line, and you've got to feel for Jakub Klemenček, and definitely not want to be his bike mechanic.
Well, I'll tell you,
snap chain.
Yeah, that's 1, 2, and 3 from round number 1 in the World Cup. Not going through to the final in round 2. It's really going to shake up the standings in the men's competition. But Klemenček making sure he gets over the line, because he can get that fixed in time for the small final.
He certainly can. He can get that fixed, no problems at all. He's just putting in a quick link in there. Just get it sorted fast. But bearing in mind these guys are riding in World Cups, World Championships, they're riding at the top level. The bike should be in tip-top condition, and to have, it's been said before, to lose one is unfortunate. To lose two is definitely a case of a major mistake, and that is a major mistake, to lose two chains very quickly.
But the power Klemenchek puts down through those pedals is probably enough to drive one of these buildings.
It's probably enough to drive the submarine at the side of the historic submarine here at the Naval Museum down on the docks in Gdynia. And as you can see, our 4 qualifiers coming through the green of the qualifying stamp, same as the submarine at the side.
Yes, so Zagar, Molnar, Gegenheimer and Lind will be the 4 riders going through to the final, battling for gold, silver and bronze today in the men's competition. Well, Klemenchek making sure he finishes the race. Look at that, straight over the line, having to run and scoot to finish, but that will mean that he will take to the start line in the small final.
Get to the start line, make your way through. It's what you want to do. You can see the riders there just getting checked out. Gegenheimer straight onto the rollers, so the bike there just supported by the balance of the riders, the rear wheel driving, the front roller and the rear roller round, connected by a band as it goes through.
Klemenchek running to the pits.
Yeah, Klemenchek is on a run to the pits, and the team there just coming back. Because when your competitor is running, they are wasting so much energy. You need to get out there and give them a shove, give them a push to get them straight down there. Now, just taking a quick look there, just saw a ice towel over the back there. So a very neat trick if you can to keep cool, to just keep that temperature down. You can see the spectators here enjoying the sunshine. Not so much fun for the riders, because the effort that they're putting in, they are generating so much heat. You know, they're doing sprint after sprint after sprint, race after race. The temperature goes up, and you can see a lot of the modern materials that the skin suits that the riders are wearing, the all-in-one suit, they're designed to give you superb cooling as well as being aerodynamic.
Yeah, and we often talk about the riders jumping on the rollers to warm up and to stay warm between rounds. Today it's also about staying cool and keeping that core temperature as cool as possible. You'll maybe well see the use of ice vests, you see the use of towels that maybe have been wetted in the freezer. Those all sorts of strategies coming into play.
And you can see that the vest there of Marion Fromberger, the central core of that vest is designed to give maximum ventilation. The sleeves, though, aerodynamic with the ribbing on them, designed to improve the airflow over them. It might only give you a fraction of a second, but we have seen people qualifying by 0.01 of a second. They can qualify on literally the width of the line. It's very, very close. Very, very close indeed.
Well, whilst the competitors are on the turbos, keeping warm, keeping cool, getting ready for the finals, I'm going to give you my favourite fact of the day as we watch the people enjoying the water, sea, sand and forest around the city here. But my favourite fact of the day about Gdynia was that the Bond villain Blofeld was born in Gdynia on the 28th of May 1908. Well, that's according to Thunderball by Ian Fleming.
Yes, the Ian Fleming novel, definitely a classic for some. The big green submarine that you see at the side there, that's actually a bathysphere. And do you know what that's called? It's got the name of a novel, from a novel. It is Nautilus.
Oh, well, there we go.
It is, and you can go visit it. It's one of the tourist attractions as well here in Gdynia. Fantastic place to go visit, particularly on their anniversary, because you obviously got all the extra festivals and all the extra attractions, and part of that is the city mountain bike coming down. As you can see, plenty of people down, cooling down.
Beach.
I think there's going to be a few of our riders taking a dip, very much so. Leave the bike though off the sand. We've got enough problems with mechanicals without getting any sand or grit in that drive chain.
Talking about the city mountain bike being part and parcel of the centenary, there are also a number of festivals out here in Gdynia in Poland this year, from music to film to Shakespeare to two-day beach parties as well. Miles and miles of sandy beaches in this region. What started life as a seaport has now become a city, and we've got city mountain bike racing taking place right here, right now. The qualifications for the finals have been complete. The semi-finals are done. We are heading into the men's small final first before we go through to the women's and the men's finals today to see who walks away with those podium spots before they, as Matt has just indicated, probably head to the beach.
And why not? I think it's not something you can always do. We've got City Mountainbike, the Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup travelling all around, as we see the captain. They're just using the hat there just to get a little bit better view out over the racing. They're a great spot to watch on from, as the riders just make sure that they've spun all that lactic acid out of their legs, that they're all ready to go. Some of the riders will be changing in terms of the kit. They'll be changing through. I always like to change socks when you're going into the next race if it's really warm. I think it really makes you feel better. And mitts as well, if you've got gloves on. Not a lot of the riders are wearing those, which you know, is a personal preference, but I always think that. Or the other alternative, a helmet is always quite good, because they don't often get warm in this temperature, and nothing worse than taking your helmet off in the sunshine and then putting it back on again. Well,
hydration break and fueling, absolutely key. But to be honest, hydration, well, that started for our athletes a couple of days ago in this heat, to make sure that they weren't impeded in their racing.
And we see that, don't we? We see the racing, it's a 50-second effort repeated over and over again. But the build-up here is huge, and it's week. It's the whole week on the way in, and some slight issue in that build-up can affect the riders now in this, and you've got to get the whole thing right. It's the preparation, the process, right the way through to coming down onto the start line.
You do indeed, and anything can happen, as we have seen today, from 4th to 2nd, from 1st to nothing because of a chain in the qualification round. So anything can happen, and the riders now lining up for the small final. And a number of riders that we weren't expecting to be here. Jakub Klemenchek, the World Cup leader at the moment in the small final, along with Zini van Looy, the world champion Titouan Perrin-Gagné, and Theo Hauser, who was 2nd in round 1 and took the European title. So it is a real shake-up in the standings after today.
So away you go, the riders. Hauser recovering from that little shaky start there onto the wheel of Klemenchek. Klemenchek maybe a little bit more careful with the application of power. It's going to be nagging in the back of his mind. Has he managed to press the reset button successfully in his brain, and he's going to be able to put the maximum power down? We've seen him open up bigger gaps than this, but at the moment smooth from all 4 riders. Remember, this is the battle for positions 5, 6, 7 and 8 overall in the World Cup round number 2. Those points being added to round number 1, and at the moment Perrin-Gagné just losing ground where we wouldn't necessarily expect to see him lose ground there.
I think that was a deliberate sit back into those steps so he could push on and drive through over the top, because he didn't want to get stalled by the rider in front.
And Hauser nearly stalling that. Hauser right on the wheels of Klemenchek coming in and then getting that stall at the moment. The gap opening back to Van Looy, the last rider of the 4, as they come round to complete lap 1 of 2 here in the minor final. And now we're starting to see the pressure going on. We're starting to see the pace build up. Van Looy starting to lose more ground at the back, driving it down to 3. Klemenchek on the front. Hauser in 2nd position in the race, the world champion behind him. And Hauser at the moment is the Kiwi jam in the sandwich at the moment, because at the front of this, the World Cup leader in position 3, the world champion, and sat in between it's those red stripes. Austrian at the moment really with work to do here. What can he do? And Van Looy's just starting to pressure. Now comes Perrin-Gagné. He carried speed into this jump. He's going to carry it off. Hauser's a dab hand at this as well, though. You've got both Perrin-Gagné and Hauser both very aware that if you carry the speed out of this corner, you could be in position. Perrin-Gagné, I don't think he's going to have the kick to match Hauser. You can't use the same trick on the rider who's using it already. Klemenchek through. Hauser taking 2nd place there. Perrin-Gagné coming through for 3rd, and Van Looy for 4 in our minor final. 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th overall.
Yes, Jakub Klemenchek salvaging as many points as possible today by taking that 5th place in the small final. Theo Hauser also trying to get as many points on to that series leaderboard, finishing 2nd, which gives him 6th place today. Perrin-Gagné will take 7th. Zini van Looy will take 8th. Now we head to the women's final, and you can see the women lining up. Earlier on today, It was indeed Boissier who put in a storming performance in the individual time trial. She set the fastest time ahead of Sukapolova, the series leader, the Ukrainian rider. She's wearing the black jersey with the red on it, indicating she's the series leader. Marion Fromberger, the German national champion, lining up alongside the national champion of the Netherlands, Didi de Vries. It's a stacked final.
It is a stacked final. It's an absolutely brilliant final. I love the lineup here, and I think this is really going to be interesting. And I'm loving the fact that we've got our World Cup leader here in Sukapolova, second from the left. You've got Didi de Vries. She's got the red shoulders on. She so proudly wears that jersey. She's going to be looking for a great result here today. Madison Boissier into a final. She'll be looking to see if she can take a podium here today. This is going to be really interesting. Young riders really on their way through the start of their careers like Boissier. You've got experienced hands like de Vries and Fromberger, and you've got Sukapolova, who we know has got massive power and can go well, but she is an all-or-nothing rider. She seems to be either amazing or just a little bit off the boil.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see which way she goes today. Now, after the time trial, there has been a big rest period for these riders here today. So it is going to be a full-out effort. No multiple rounds to tire the legs. It's going to make it very different.
So will this benefit those riders with the experience? Will it benefit the riders who maybe have been able to produce strong time trials or strong eights, but not been able to go on the very last race of the day? They've maybe faded. Well, today, less rounds, less heats on the way through. That's making things of a different makeup, a different shake-up for the riders. So de Vries with the number 4 plate, Sukapolova with the number 2 plate. Boissier sat in between. She's got that number 1 plate, and then it's Fromberger on the far right-hand side with the number 3 plate on the bike. The riders given the 15 seconds to go board. They will be starting sometime in the next few seconds on the sound of the whistle. Here it goes. This is key. This start will decide who goes into that first corner, and will Fromberger lead from the front? It's where she likes to race from, but the pressure is on. Look at the dive underneath her. Sukapolova ducks her shoulder down underneath the arm there of Fromberger, and Sukapolova using that slightly lower centre of gravity to tuck herself in around the corner. Now Fromberger has to respond. She cannot let Sukapolova go, because this is Sukapolova's tactic. Go to the front, open up the throttle, get the gap, and then hold on. Well, grimly, doggedly, determinedly hang on to that. Fromberger starting to go onto the wheels. Then it's de Vries. Then it's Boissier. Boissier nicely up those steps. Great move by her. De Vries really having to put the power down to stay clear.
Yeah, she is indeed. And Fromberger wanting Sukapolova as well. She does not want to let Sukapolova go. There really is going to be a battle at the front. And now Boissier starts to come round de Vries as well. Boissier taking the more circumspect start here. Beautiful ride on that wall corner as Boissier comes round. Didi de Vries now into 4th place, and Boissier now trying to close down Fromberger.
We know de Vries has had podiums before. Boissier is looking to get a podium here today. She's definitely had less than de Vries, but this at the moment at the front of the race is about Sukapolova not now making a mistake. She's got the power down. She's got a clear space in front of her. She is giving draw. She's giving advantage to the rider behind. The speed that the riders are travelling at, it makes a difference. But Fromberger doesn't want to be looking in front. She needs to be watching in that rear view mirror. Boissier comes on the hills, and this is where Boissier is good up these steps. Little bit of a stall that time round. Superbly done by Fromberger. She didn't blink under pressure there. Boissier is not giving up on this, and we know how much speed she's going to carry him, but she's under pressure as well, because de Vries is coming up on the inside of Boissier. Sukapolova, the World Cup leader, in 1. Fromberger in 2. 3 and 4 is going to be a scrap to the line. Who's going to take the win? The World Cup leader extends the lead. It's going to be Maria Sukapolova taking away maximum points, taking away the win in our finals here at round 2 of the UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup, powered by City Mountain Bike. the leader strikes and takes away the win.
What a race, what a move. The effort on Sukapalova's face as she came over the line. Fromberger, just the tactic was stay glued to Sukapalova's wheel and any opportunity take it. But the battle between Boissier and De Vries for third place played out the entire race. Dini De Vries was not phased when Boissier came past her. She held her nerve and she held it into that straight, into that wall ride on lap number 2.
And these skills these riders are building, they all come in because there's going to be another time in another race a little bit further in this season, next season, the season after, where they're in a similar position, under pressure, maybe battling, taking positions, changing back, and that's where these skills will come to the fore.
Well, Maria Sukapalova confirmed there in 1. She will take away round 2 of the World Cup, alongside having taken round 1. Marion Fromberger does the double, 2 second places, and De Vries, after that battle with Madison Boissier, comes through for third place, matching her performance in Sakarya. Boissier, she finished 5th in round 1, will finish 4th in round 2. She's climbing nicely. Well, the men's final lined up and ready to go, and we can see the riders ready. Eddie Caroly Molnar in 1. Edvard Lind, the 2025 world champion, in 2. Matic Zagar in 3. And Simon Gegenheimer, also a previous world champion, in 4, as they get the 15-second board.
On Gdynia's 100th birthday, who's going to be taking away the birthday cake? Who is going to take away the best present to come out of Gdynia today? Because this is about the win here today. We don't have our World Cup leader in this. They're going to be able to score big points, and they are shoulder to shoulder and elbow to elbow. If anybody tells you cycling is a non-contact sport, they've not watched Mountainbike Eliminator, when 3 riders won the same line round the same corner, and another big hold up there. Lind it is this time, 2nd to 4th, stalled on the way through, lucky to keep the bike in one piece. He's got to get the power down and go around Molnar, who overtook him at the front. Gegenheimer relatively clear of the issues behind. Now, I'll tell you something, Lind is now having to be careful here. He could have gone for that down the side. He chose not to because he knows he cannot make the moves on Molnar. Molnar is defending this absolutely ferociously. It's properly elbows out. They haven't just sharpened them, they've got sharp steel points on the ends of them today, as Gegenheimer looks over his shoulder and sees the speed of Zagar coming around the outside there, and now Gegenheimer is out of the breeze. He's same position too. He's got company behind him from Molnar, who the adrenaline is absolutely coursing through his veins because he's been shoulder to shoulder further back, and I think that battle, that fight, it has left Zagar thinking, hang on a minute, I qualified in 1. What am I doing fighting for 3rd and 4th place? I should be on the front, and now he is opening the gap. Lind has blown a gasket. He's not got the cylinders working. He's out of this now, and this is a flat out to the finish. Big ride by Matic Zagar here today. He's going to come round that wall ride. He can take it safely. Gegenheimer's leaving nothing to chance with Molnar behind him, but the arms are aloft here round to the UCI Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup, powered by City Mountainbike. Matic Zagar takes away the win here. It's a 2nd place for Simon Gegenheimer, a 3rd for Eddie Caroly Molnar, and a 4th for Edvin Lind. Oh my goodness, how close was that?
Well, I'll tell you, there's going to be one happy rider. Matic Zagar took 4th place in round number 1, taking 1st place in round number 2. That's going to give him all the points he could possibly desire in the overall World Cup series. Molnar taking 3rd place, though. That too is a massive step up from round 1. He took 7th and now a 3rd. Absolutely brilliant. And Lind and Gegenheimer putting the first races down in the World Cup this year. We're going to see more of them, and this men's competition is just going to get better and better, because I can tell you, Jakub Klemenchek will be back.
He will indeed. Really interesting watching the different riders. Once they got some space between themselves and the riders around them, on that double on lap 2, clearing the double on the first 2 riders through, just about clearing it for the 3rd rider, 4th just having to basically manual over the top. Zagar carrying pace and speed. He proved he had that speed in the time trial. It means he gets maximum points, because here in the mountain bike eliminator there are points awarded for the time trial and for the elimination stages, and all those points added together today will have helped Matic Zagar no end. His winning time in the end, 1 minute 49.63 seconds.
Do you know, that's identical to the small final in Jakub Klemenchek, to the
Incredible.
10th of a second.
Incredible. It's consistency. The temperature is boiling hot. It's really close racing. There are different races unfolding, and yet they are able to produce time and time again world-class riders, the best riders in the world at Mountainbike Eliminator, battling it out around the globe. Absolutely brilliant racing.
Well, we're going to hear from Maria Sukapolova, our winner today.
World Cup 2 in Gdynia, Poland. And the big winner of today by women elite coming out of the Ukraine, Maria Sukapolova. Maria, how are you doing right now? Really happy, I guess.
Yeah, it's so wonderful feeling. I'm so proud for myself. It's really so good. It's good emotions.
How went today for you? The qualification and straight into the big final. And right there it was really close with Mario Fromberger, but at the finish line, and that is what counts. You were the fastest rider by women elite.
Yeah, in the qualification I have two little mistakes. I have bad start, and when I go to finish I lost sometimes, but I mean, I'm really pretty sure I'm good feeling today, so I don't think about it. I'm just go in the final, winning my second World Cup in this season. And I saved my leader jersey, so it's, I don't know, it's really good.
In 2 weeks we are going to Aalen. We have more World Cups coming up. What are the main goals coming for 2026 for you?
Yeah, I mean, that season really hard. I have a lot of starts, and I have 2 weeks just for training, and that's make me so happy. I have really good training for the Aalen, so I mean, it's perfect for me, for sure.
Perfect. Can you say something in your Ukrainian language to the watchers at home, all the fans for you?
Привіт всім, дуже дякую, що ви дивитесь, та також, що підтримуєте мене. Зараз дуже важкий для нас час, особливо коли війна, тому дуже важко. Зараз дуже вам дякую.
Congratulations once again, Maria Sukapolova.
Thank you.
Well, we've seen Maria Sukapolova representing Ukraine in the World XEO Championships. We've seen her taking titles in XCE. We've also seen her making mistakes and having those lows and picking herself back up from that already this season. The confidence is there. She's centre stage.
And she's still an under-23 rider. She is absolutely a world-class and one to watch for the future. But Sukapolova is also one to watch now. She's right on top of the stage, ahead of Marion Fromberger in 2 and Didi de Vries in 3. It's going to be a great World Cup Eliminator series with those women turning up on the start line.
It is, and I think we've really got to see what... I think Fromberger's going to take a lot from this. We're going to see the same from De Vries and Boissier again. That progression, as you said earlier, on 5th to 4th. Will it be a 3rd next time? We've seen her getting better and better and better. It's been a great progression. It's resulted in points.
It has indeed. Sukapolova still tops the table, 195 points in the World Cup standings. Marion Fromberger 30 points behind. Didi de Vries in 3, Madison Boissier moving up to 4th place. That is great to see.
It really is. One of our young riders moving up and through. The women really have set the standard that the men have to follow.
Well, we're going to hear from our winner in the men's race, Matic Zagar, up next.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Matic Zagar from the qualification rounds into the quarterfinal, into the semi-final, and right now, the big winner of today, the 2nd World Cup of 2026. What is going through your head at the moment?
Yeah, I'm incredibly happy. I have to thank someone above, because luck was really on my side today, especially in the finals, but as well in the qualifications, I didn't expect that I could win. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy with today's performance.
It was directly a good start. Winning already the qualification round just in front of your countryman was such really special. But you made it through into the end with an incredible comeback race by Simon Gegenheimer, who was out in front in the start of the big final. So what was going on in your big final by Man Elite?
Yeah, for some reason I didn't get a good start in the final. In all the other heats I was first from the gate, so yeah, in the final I was fourth, so something really lucky happened, and I'm lucky I didn't get squeezed into the bars completely. So yeah, I managed to overtake. I conserved enough energy to be able to overtake the other guys who were also really strong. So yeah, I'm really grateful.
All right, congrats to you, Matti Krajek-Zagar, the big winner of today.
Thank you so much.
Well, Matic Zagar taking the win today, and whether he made his own luck or not is a big question, but it really was a great race and executed to perfection. On the top spot, Matic Zagar of Slovenia, Simon Gegenheimer in 2 and Eddie Molnar in 3.
It's great to see Eddie Molnar on the podium. Really well deserved. Gegenheimer coming back into form as well. Zagar, I think that was all his own doing there today. He didn't panic when he had issues. He put down the pace. He had the speed, and it means that he scored big points.
Wow, look how close that is. Matic Zagar goes into top spot in the World Cup standings, 10 points ahead of his countryman Jakub Klemenček. The jersey is going to change hands. Theo Hauser had all sorts of issues out there today, but still holds on to 3rd. Molnar moves up into 4th. Gegenheimer slots in with 1 race into 5th place. Matti Zakas is in there as well, even after that shocking result in the individual time trial. Edvard Lind drops into the top 10 as well in round 2. First race. It's going to be a really close World Cup this year.
It is, and I can't wait to see how these riders then take the form that they've got here on what has been an incredibly fast track with relatively small, very, very subtle obstacles. When we go to Ireland, which is known for big crowds, tight tracks and big obstacles, it's very tough stuff.
Well, let's have a look at today's highlights. Well, happy centenary to Gdynia, 100 years of the city, and what a way to celebrate with round 2 of the Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup. Well, now complete. Congratulations also to Maria Sukapolova and Matic Zagar taking the win today and moving themselves both up into the top spot of the World Cup series so far. Can anybody stop them dominating as we progress to Ireland for the next round of the World Cup? That is indeed on the 11th of July. You need to be there. Expect big crowds and large gap jumps. We're going to be there. Well, that's both Matt Payne and myself, Emma Martin. Until then, stay safe. Enjoy your riding. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.